Hey guys, I'm Levi Gates, and welcome to DETALKS with me, Mr. Keith Duplessie at PNS.
How you doing, brother?
What's happening, buddy? I appreciate you coming all this way. I know it was a very long flight. I know you've been just wiped for the 1-hour flight from Portland to Boise, although you did have a couple of connectors this morning.
I did. I'm on a 3-state tour today. I went to Seattle, and now I'm here, and I'm going back to Portland tonight.
There you go. At least it's a one-shot flight on the way back.
It did. Straight
That's
shot
nice.
home, hour
That'll
plus. Yeah, it'd be great.
Well, and the nice thing now that you're here, you're going to be on this more often. It'll be fun to have you.
It'll be awesome. Yeah.
Very excited. So today I wanted to talk about teamwork within the industry that I think there's still this stigma. One, guys are trying to compete against each other. And not saying competition's bad. I'm just saying don't feel the need to compete with detailers in your area.
I agree.
And don't feel the need to compete with car washes in your area. I get so many messages and emails from guys that go, how do I handle, like I can't sell a detail or car wash for $50 or $75 because the guys down the street do it for 10. Well, you shouldn't ever be competing. You can never compete at that $10. But what you can do is provide a different service and a different method. And you can also become friends with that car wash. I've always said, sometimes car washes wreck cars. Or they
more than we'd
cars.
like to admit. Not as much as sometimes it's portrayed, but yeah, absolutely.
Why not be the guy that fixes that or the gal that fixes that?
Well, I think that brings up a great point. You did a detox the other day with Ivan, and it was about stop trying to sell to other detailers and market to other detailers. This really is in line with that same conversation. Stop trying to sell as if you are that entity, which is the car wash business, right?
Right.
Car washes are designed to do a certain thing, and that is to process cars. And that's really, if you talk to any really good operator, they're going to tell you they process cars.
Yeah, and to be honest, Keith, you were in the car wash industry for a very long time.
I still am involved. You know, I mean, and so are you, because the reality is our product line ends up in all these places.
All of them.
And so I'm never going to tell you that a car wash is a bad thing. I think car washes serve a purpose. They do what they're supposed to do, and they provide a level of service that is to a certain point. And that's, I think, the big part for detailers. You guys got to understand that you offer a level of service that should not be expected from a car wash. More importantly, that's what you've got to sell is the expectation. Mm-hmm. You know, too often we try and sell that we wash the car. Don't sell that you wash the car. Sell a level of service and expectation for the customer that they're going to get their car back and it's going to feel completely different. You know, the car washes are designed to process a car. If it's a full serve wash, 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. And keep in mind, that's 3 minutes through the tunnel.
Yeah.
So they have time for wait lines and things like that. So reality is you're going to get 8 to 10 minutes of service on your car at a car wash.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's what you're going to give them. And somebody says, well, why should I pay $50 or $45 for hand wash? Well, I'm going to take the time. When I do my detail wash, I'm going to take that brush you've got behind you and I'm going to do the lug nuts. And I'm going to do I'm going to use a barrel brush and I'm going to get into your wheels. I'm going to do the door jams. I'm going to do the trunk jams. I'm going to clean your gas cap jam. That's all part of our basic wash. And so there is a difference in the level of service. So you need to sell your difference. Don't sell what you do the same because you both wash the car. Yep. If that's all that you put on your menu, it really doesn't do you justice. You're shorting yourself. Don't short yourself. Sell them what they're getting that's different. That's the big thing. Be the differentiation. Yeah. Because we both know that the time, effort, and attention to detail is far superior. Yeah. But rarely do you see somebody say that.
Well, and there's always the issues where customers feel like they have like they'll come back and go, you know, I took it to the car wash. These guys don't hit this. They didn't hit that. Right. They didn't wipe this. They don't get that. And it's like, well, they're not expected to at that price point. But if you do this service that I provide, I'll get all that stuff. I'll have all that taken care of for you. And I'll get it clean. And that's what it's about. So if you can sell to your customer that obviously your services are different, obviously that what you are providing is something completely different from the car wash.
Exactly.
That's where it is. And I had people who pulled up and would say, I want to get my car cleaned. How much is it for a car wash? And I'd say what my price was. And they go, oh, down the street does it for $10. I would never fight that customer. I would never fight for that sale because I couldn't compete with it. I'd just say, yeah, then take it down the street. They'll take care of you.
Yeah.
And I just say, this is what if you want something more, then you can come to me. Sometimes that person would never come back. Other times that person would go get their car washed because now they just stopped by a detail shop.
Right.
And in their mind, this is what I should be getting because I'm spending the money, and maybe they get the best wash. Maybe they spend $25 on the wash.
Right. Yeah.
And
they got the top package.
Yeah. And they go through, and they got the hot wax, and they go through, and they're like, hey, in their head, they're already in this detail mind. Mm-hmm. They go through the car wash, it comes out, and it is not what they wanted. They realize.
Most of the time, yeah. I mean, you get a great car. I mean, the goal of any car wash that's set up right is to get a clean, dry, shiny car.
Right,
and
exactly.
if we can produce that in the car wash, and we can hit the majority of all the pan. Everybody knows if you go to a car wash and they have the guy with the brush there and he hits a certain part of the car and you're like, well, why did he only do that part? Well,
because
he did that part because that's what the car wash misses. So he's only filling in the gap of what the equipment, the mechanical part doesn't do. But you're going to get to a certain point with that outcome. And if it's a clean, dry, shiny car, for the most part, that's what you get. But if you want the dressing to be just perfect on the tires, and you want somebody to touch up that trim with some dressing, and you want to have the inside be really spotless and not just, a fast wipe down and a touch up on the dash, then you're going to have to ask for more of a premium service.
Yeah,
and that's where the detailer comes in.
And car washes do provide those detail services, and that's where I started. I was a car wash guy. That's where I started. I was prepping cars through the tunnel. Mm-hmm. I was the guy scrubbing the backs of the license plates on the backs of the SUVs. I was the one pre-soaking all the bugs and just going around with a brush and hitting the wheels and then sending the car through the wash. I was also the guy picking it up at the front when it came through and driving it and cleaning the wheels and spinning my towel and, hey, I got this car ready to go, all ready to go for you. And then I started doing the detail services. I started working on the express packages. And that's how I started detailing and becoming a detailer. And I've hired guys when I used to take my car through the car wash. Just because I wanted to wash my car and just because I didn't want to do it myself. I'd run it through. Yeah, they would scratch it all up, but it gave me a job to work on my car. I got to play with the product. I got to do something. And I could also headhunt.
Well, that's kind of the funny thing is a lot of times I hear detailers, and I see it on Facebook all the time, I need staff. I can't find a guy to work for me. Well, there's a lot of value to what the car wash industry does because they do really process cars. And so they teach procedure, they teach step by step. Well, the cool part about that is as an employer, if you're looking for a guy who's really seems like he's into it, and he's enthusiastic,
and he's got hustle.
You give him an opportunity to go to another level, maybe make some more money, but he already gets process.
Yeah.
He's already in the wash business, so you kind of have an idea that he's going to show up every day and that they understand what they're in for, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have some wet feet, you're going to have wet hands, you're going to be out in the weather a little bit if you're at a car wash.
Yeah.
We don't stop washing cars in the winter or the summer.
Yep.
We may have dry weather and that's the only time we wash, but the reality is you have an employee who's kind of already shown an aptitude toward maybe going somewhere in the detail industry. So it's a great place to headhunt from. And people are always looking for their next opportunity, and I encourage that. And the washers don't expect you to stay with them for 20 years at an entry-level employment wage. So there's a lot of benefit there to that. The other thing you mentioned is, we were talking off camera about, well, how do car washers and detail shops work together?
Right.
And I think the answer to that is that you can provide an nth level service. And I say nth level being just beyond what they're willing to do because they don't see the benefit in having a car on the lot for multiple hours.
No.
That's not their game. Again, they're processing cars. They have a time frame they want to get that done.
And you got to remember, some of these car washes are doing 3 to 500 cars a day.
Oh yeah, they're doing 10,000 cars a month at a really busy wash. A really busy full serve can do 6,000 or 7,000 cars a month. That's 200 to 300 cars a day. And so they are about process. They are about doing, okay, we do this first, this second, we go over the surface, but they may not spend the attention to detail. The other thing is they may make a mistake.
Yeah.
They may have a moment where a piece of equipment does something where it scuffs or scratches a car, and they choose not to have that level of service on their lot. You can be the outlet for that.
Yep.
Or more importantly, somebody shows up with the impossible car. And we've
Right.
all dealt with that on the detail side. Imagine being a car wash and getting the impossible car.
Well, yeah. The guy that borrowed a rental has to go turn it in a couple days.
Yeah.
But he decided to carry bales of hay inside a little sedan. I've had it. It's shown up.
Yep. Or
Like-
the one where you have somebody throw up in the back seat.
Yep.
And the car wash is maybe not equipped for that, and they really don't want to take that on. We've got a guy, he's down the street, he's down the way. Reach out to him. He can do emergency work like this. He can help you out. You can be an outlet for them.
Yeah.
And I see nothing wrong with that. And that's keeping not necessarily your enemies close. That's keeping your aligned partners
Well, and I always looked
in
at
your
it.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, and I always looked at it as they would advertise for me,
Yeah.
basically. And so, if I was able to create where I could ask them, I'd go in, and this is very simple to do. Get some of your business cards, and then just go to Staples and buy a little business card holder.
Yep.
They're like tops. They're $5,
$4 or $5.
and that's it. And you just walk into their details or into their car wash and just talk to the manager. Say, hey, I just want to talk to the manager. Introduce yourself. Don't come off that you are better and that you can fix. Hey, I know you scratched that car. I fix that kind of stuff. Don't come in thinking that you're the best, because some of these people don't even know what a detail is. It's a job for them.
Yep.
And they're trying to manage a process and customers and employees. And that's all they care about. If you just say, hey, if you ever run into an issue that your guys can't handle, I'd be more than willing to help you guys out. Can I put some cards out for some customers? I'm not trying to take anything. This is the kind of services I provide. And that's all it has to be. 90% of the time, they're like, yeah, you can put your business cards right over there. And if you already have it in a holder, 10 times better. If you have a holder with some pamphlets,
Even
there
better.
you go.
Yeah.
They would love that. What they don't want is someone just throwing stuff down on a countertop, because their guy's going to wipe it. But if you make it look permanent or semi-permanent, or it's meant to be there, that helps. I would do the same thing with the body shops. I just go in and the body shops work. Hey guys, I'm just bringing these over. I buy 5 or 6 of those plastic business card holders. It's $20.
And it's really your best marketing.
Yeah.
Because a box of cards is $25 or $30
Yeah.
to, once you've already got your print set up done, most of us have. So you're talking about you've invested $25 because you're only doing about that many cards, and you build a relationship. I got a guy, right? If we don't have the answer, we want to have a guy.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You can be the guy. And that's a huge part of growing your business, is being a resource for other people.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is and this is just off the cuff, but if they've got turnaround, they've got people coming and going, they've got employees coming and going. Let's say that manager doesn't stick around. The next manager walks in, and they're maybe taking lay of the land, goes, what is this? One of the employees or the owner or somebody goes, this is the detail shop that we recommend. Okay, that's all they need to know.
Right.
That's it. And the same goes for the body shops. They're not going to remember your name, but they'll remember that card sitting there. And if a customer asks, hey, so you guys did the express package, you didn't hit this, you didn't hit this, you didn't hit that. They'll explain to them, sorry, that's not part of the process. But there's a detail shop, here's the cards right here. Yep. Give them a call, they'll take care of it.
Or my favorite is, I got the hand wax, you guys were supposed to polish the car.
Right.
Well, we've had a long-running conversation about terminology in this industry.
Yes.
What's a compound? What's a polish? And the consumer really doesn't have a differentiation in their mind. They say polish, the car gets shiny.
Yeah.
And so when they take the car in and get it waxed, and it comes back and it's got scratches on it, well, the car wash didn't do that necessarily. That could have been done. It could be Arizona pinstriping, as we like to call the stripes down the side of the truck.
We call them Idaho pinstriping.
Idaho desert pinstriping.
Yeah.
But that's an opportunity for them to say, yeah, we really don't take those out.
Yeah.
We're adding a layer of protection. We really don't we don't do correction. And so that's an opportunity for them to refer you over.
Right.
They also, express interior. When you do a carpet, we say we'll make an attempt to get the stain out, but we don't make that promise in the car wash business. We don't have the time, the resources, the effort, the energy to be able to do that and process the cars. So when a customer says, yeah, but you didn't get the stain out. Well, we we're cleaning, doing a maintenance clean is what they call
Yeah.
it. So this is an opportunity for them to refer you as the detailer of choice. And I think that's a great way to go, you know.
Yeah. Well, and I think it basically just boils down to teamwork. Like
It
I
does.
said, it's become that, you know, help them in their situations because they have problems and you maybe have the answer to that problem for them.
Yep.
And vice versa. If you can refer customers, and you know, we've got a friend, Sydney, she does that. She's got a car wash that she refers her customers to.
Absolutely.
And lets them know. And that car wash does a really good job because she'll run her car through and she experiences that car wash and goes through it and looks at what the quality of the wash is. And so she tells her customers, because customers always ask. And not everybody wants to wash their own car at home.
Right, which is great. When
yeah.
you got to hand wash the car, and they're like, well, I don't want to bring it to you for $50 a week.
Right.
Because, you know, for most people,
Budgets.
a $200 to $400 detail service, whatever that is, that's a premium that they've paid out.
Right.
So they do want to be able to maintain it, but they don't have the time, effort, energy, or desire to either pay a higher dollar figure for a hand wash or the ability to do it themselves. So they want a good referral to a car wash. Well, what car wash won't wreck my car? I hate that question.
Yeah, no.
Because I hate to recommend one over another if I know they're all fairly good.
Yeah.
But you have to have a relationship there. And back to that relationship, you know, you mentioned taking cards out. One of the things that sometimes gets failed to happen is once you've done that, go back once a quarter.
Yeah.
Follow back up because
Yeah.
they want to know, they want to have some love. Everybody wants to be contacted and appreciated.
Yeah.
And that's a huge part of, again, it's a relationship. It really is not a business transaction.
No, and that even goes for, so that could be car washes, that could be body shops, that could be mechanic shops.
Mechanic shops are a huge opportunity I think a lot of guys miss because the independent shop that's a mechanic shop, the guy usually ends up becoming the local mechanic for that
Yep.
person. And you know what I found with both car washes and with service centers is you become their go-to for all answers automotive.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you do it or not. If they trust you and they have a relationship with you, consumers will come to you. I mean, how many folks, when you ran your detail shop, would say, well, where should I go to get my fender fixed?
They'd want tires. They'd want,
Exactly.
They'd call me for everything because I became the car caretaker in a sense.
Yeah, and if you didn't do it, you had a guy
Yep.
that you could refer them to, and most of the time, 99% of the time, they had a good experience.
Yeah.
And that's the other part that goes with this, guys, is do business with reputable companies that you have confidence in. If you wouldn't send your wife or your girlfriend or your kids there, then don't refer your customers there.
Yeah.
But find those partners, and maybe it's a little bit further out of the way, but at the end of the day, that'll guarantee that your customers are like, dude, that Levi, he's always got the right guy.
Yeah, and I've done that. I did it with a local tire shop here, and it was a buddy of mine who was the manager, and we're really good friends. And I knew that he would take care, if I referred somebody to him, and they said, Levi referred me, he would take care of them. And I'd ask them, go talk to this guy.
Yep.
And vice versa. He would have, like, recently, I mean, literally just recently, he had a girl bring her car in. Car's 3 days old.
Uh-oh.
She had a flat tire. She has them fix the flat. They put the tire wheel back on the car and everything, comes back out. She notices a scratch on her fender. And he pulls out, lets her know, hey, you know, we didn't have nobody near that fender. Here's our videos, here's our cameras. As you can see, nobody would have scratched that. That probably happened in a parking lot, but here's what I'm gonna do for you. Here's my buddy Levi. He polishes cars. He's been doing them for me for 15 years. He'll take care of you. He will take care of it, and I will pay for it. And he texted me and said, hey, I got this girl coming by. Do you got time to do it? And even though I don't have my detail shop, I contacted her.
You got a pretty nice place to do some playing.
Yeah, I could. But the point is, I told her, hey, I do this out of my house, evenings and weekends.
Right.
Swing by my house. It's going to take me 10 minutes to fix that little scratch. And it was literally just not even a 1 foot section, 6 inches.
Yep.
And I just buffed it out, polished it, threw a little bead maker on it, said, here you go. And she was stoked because it was gone.
Right.
In her eyes. I called my buddy and he was like, thanks, I appreciate it.
Well, and brand new car and it's wrecked and there's all those feelings that go with that. And to have it be right is just the coolest thing.
Exactly. But it's the fact that even though I'm not detailing anymore, I still have, my buddy has a friend he can count on. And that is the point of this, is to create those friends in the industry so that you have those friends. And I still get referrals from the mechanic shop that I used to do stuff.
There
They
you go.
call and go, hey, do you want to work on this old GTO we've got? Sure, I'll work on it this weekend. You know, that's just something fun for me. But it's the fact that even though I'm not in business anymore, the seeds I planted still are bearing fruit, so to speak. And that helps.
Yeah, and you know, I remember when I went to work for Big Man, one of the things that we talked about early on when I was getting introduced to him was, you know, Rick Gary was their chemical director, and he says, look, this is a relationship. This is not a transaction. So, you know, we'll find our way through whatever it is we decide to do together with you working for us or not. And that really has been, I think, the truest thing I've ever heard is this is a relationship. This is not a business transaction in that way. So you've got to develop those things and you've got to maintain them, and they take effort. You know, and it's tough because we're now in that, I won't say we're celebrities in the sense of what that is, but people know who we are.
Right.
And so it's really tough when you have a lot of people approach you to have a lot of strong relationships and build that depth. And I'll tell you, I struggle with it all the time. You know, I struggle to maintain all of those relationships that I really want to have. There's a lot there, but I have to say the ones that are important, the ones that are good for your business, those are cornerstone things to make you successful. You got to develop them.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Well, thanks, Keith, for coming.
You
I
got it, my
appreciate
friend.
it. If you guys want to find Keith, you can find him on Facebook, Keith Duplessie.
There you go.
And as always, you guys can like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave us a comment on maybe one of your ideas on how to become a team member or have teamwork within the industry. And as always, stay tuned for more videos right here, the Rag Company YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.